Hyundai has laid out its plan to establish itself as a future mobility leader, and its path to global success is being powered by electric vehicles. There's a lot to unpack here, so let's start with some big numbers. Hyundai Motor Company unveiled the Hyundai-Motor-Way during its 2023 CEO Investor Day in Seoul this week. Hyundai said it will invest 109.4 trillion won, or around $85.5 billion by 2032, with the goal of selling 2 million EVs by 2030. That's up from the company's announcement in March 2022 when it vowed to invest just over $74 billion while aiming to sell 1.87 million EVs. And this is just Hyundai EVs we're talking about, not even factoring in the other badges under Hyundai-Motor-Group. Combining all three, the group's already the world's third largest car maker by sales after Toyota Motor Group and Volkswagen Group. But Hyundai sees more than half of its vehicle sales in Korea, the US and Europe to be comprised of EVs by 2030. With Toyota well off the EV pace, that would mean competing with the likes of Tesla for supremacy. According to the International Energy Agency Global EV Outlook report published in April of this year, EVs will make up more than 1 in 3 new vehicles sold in 2030. That's up from a share of 14% last year, 5% in 2020 and just 1% in 2017. And these numbers are rising all the time. The agency's latest 2030 forecast is more than double its estimate from a couple of years ago. An already ferociously competitive business is going to become even more fierce then. So how will Hyundai establish itself among the top dogs? We can start by looking under the hood. All Hyundai Motor Group EVs will benefit from a new second-generation dedicated EV platform that will replace the existing Electric Global Modular Platform, or E-GMP. That will be replaced by an Integrated Modular Architecture, IMA, which will apparently be able to boost performance with improved range and faster charging while costing less. That will partly be achieved by standardizing modules and parts between models to further expand economies of scale. They will be lighter and boast improved thermal management for batteries. And bearing in mind that the E-GMP platform's already been praised for delivering range, charging and price advantages, this is pretty exciting. The new platform will be applied to 13 new EV models under the Hyundai, Kia and Genesis badges through 2030, and in keeping with all this acceleration, Hyundai will be celebrating a sportier version of its iconic E-GMP EV this summer.
전동화의 시작을 알린 아이오닉 5는 우리의 역사적 자산인 포니로부터 영감을 얻어 탄생했습니다. 그리고 올해 출시 예정인 고성능 전기차 아이오닉 5N은 과거로부터 내려오는 현대자동차의 유산을 계승할 것입니다. 현대자동차가 전기차 시장에서 리더십 포지션을 확고히 하는 데 큰 역할을 할 것이라고 믿고 있습니다.
Another major factor here is production. Hyundai said it will meet this exponential increase in EV demand by not only building new factories dedicated to EVs, but also using its existing internal combustion engine plant. Hyundai's first dedicated EV factory set to be ready to start operations in the US in the second half of 2024. Another EV dedicated plant is being built in Korea with the aim of kicking off production in 2025. But the US one is really important because the American Inflation Reduction Act means that EVs built outside of the US are excluded from tax credits. And speaking of production in the US, Hyundai's also just announced joint ventures to make EV batteries there with SK On and LG Energy Solution. So things are looking even brighter for Hyundai Motor Group. Even with the IRA tax credit situation hitting Hyundai and Kia models in the US since late last year, the group's been able to maintain its upward EV trajectory. Led by the Ioniq 5 and EV6, Hyundai and Kia's combined global EV sales soared in the first quarter of this year, surpassing 135,499 units from January to March, up from 95,027 units a year earlier. Overseas sales, in particular, were up 93.4% during that period. The group's immediate goal is to reach 588,000 EV sales this year, from 371,800 in 2022. And of course, those numbers will be eclipsed by 2030 if the Hyundai Motor-Way is paved as planned.